I am so glad you clicked on this video. Just like me, you're probably tired. It's not so much that you can't make your payments, you're just tired of being in those vicious cycles of paying your loans back. The reason why I say don't take out a loan, because there's a better way. I'll give you an example. With a loan, it has an amortization schedule, which means you have a set payment that you're paying every single month. You know how much is going to principal, you know how much is going to interest. But the reason why those loans are extended for like 3, 5, in some cases 30 years is because you're doing business with the bank. They're going to get their money up front, which means they're going to upload it with interest in the very front of the loan. Hello, it's your dividend friend. How are you doing today? Today we're going to talk about loans. You hear me saying do not take out a loan. There's a better way to do it. By that I mean, when it comes to a loan, most cases 4, 5, 6 years when it comes to a car loan, or 30 years when it comes to a mortgage, you have a predetermined payment. You're going to make that payment every single month. The clients I'm helping, I'm learning, I'm seeing that these people have great credit. They're doing good with the credit that they have, but they're juggling multiple loans. There's a PayPal loan, there's a gas loan, there's a vehicle loan, there's a just credit card debt in general. They're making their payments on time, but they have all of these payments they have to make. And I'm like, when you think about a loan, some are at 12%, credit card may be at 25%. You may have a credit union loan at maybe 6%. When it comes down to it, you're putting all your effort into juggling all these loans. You're gonna get tired, you guys. And like me, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. So when I'm proposing, when you have an amortization schedule, think about it. Let's say a 5-year car payment. Let's say if your car payment is $450 a month. In the first 2 years of that 5-year loan, what they're gonna do is they're gonna apply most of all that to interest. That is how the bank makes their money. Very little bit of that is gonna go to the principal. Now, once you get in about year 3, you're pretty much rolling paying principal payments, but you're giving them 2 years worth of, let's say if your payment was $450, you're giving them about $95 in interest. You could apply that towards your principal and been done with it. That is why I'm like, don't do loans. There's a better way to do it. Let's look at the line of credit. With the line of credit, it's open-ended, which means you can take and borrow and you pay back. But as you're getting that line of credit down, let's say you took out maybe $50,000 line of credit and you decide you're going to buy a vehicle. Let's say the vehicle was for $45,000. Well, now we know that you have a vehicle, it's $45,000. You paid for that vehicle, free and clear, you owe no payments on it. So you've moved away from the amortization schedule. But now you have to focus your energy towards the line of credit. Most people say, well, you're getting back into debt. It's a different way. With the line of credit, every single month that you're making a payment towards the line of credit, your payment is going down. And at the same time, you have to satisfy your line of credit payment that's due. Let's say if it was a 10% of that interest rate, you have to pay that. But anything extra is going to go directly towards your principal. So let's say if you looked at your car, let's say a person has a positive cash flow of, let's say, $4,000 a month. They're making great money, but they have $4,000 left over at the end of the month. I'm going to propose, since you have a line of credit, every single month to throw that $4,000 extra into the line of credit. As you're doing that, you can easily see if you take 10 times 4, within 4 months, you've paid off $40,000 worth of debt. With that particular car, because it was about $45,000, within 11 months, you are totally debt free. You don't have any payments at all. You're done. So what you've done is that you've utilized your line of credit in a smart way. And don't forget, with the line of credit, it's open-ended. You can take from that, borrow from that, and pay it back. And every single time as you're bringing down your line of credit balance, guess what? Your payments are coming down. With the loan, I don't care if you only owe $10,000 on that loan, they're going to keep those payments the same. As if you had a line of credit, as you pay the payments down on the line of credit, your actual payments will go down every single month. And the benefit of the line of credit is that you can continue to pull from it, pay it back, pull from it, pay it back, which is why so let's say with the line of credit, you wanted to become an investor. As you paid off your vehicle, now you're sitting on $50,000 once again. So which means you can go ahead and utilize that line of credit to purchase, maybe, let's say you want to get into investing. purchase a property. The property is, let's say, $200,000, but understand that anything besides your primary residence, you're required to put down 20% in most cases. That's going to be $40,000. Now you're able to take and utilize that $40,000, purchase a property. Now the property is yours. You own that property. Your goal now is to pay off that mortgage as soon as you can, as quick as possible. Now that you've taken $40,000 out of your line of credit, you want to continuously make your payments to pay the line of credit down. Let's say $40,000, but because you have $4,000 a month in positive cash flow, you can pay off that $40,000 in 10 months. And you own the property. So can you see how line of credit can work for you? Let's say you have kids going off to college. Let's say, the kid is earned by their good graces and they've done well in school. They've earned academic scholarships. A lot of times, some scholarships only pay for a portion. They don't pay the whole thing. But they've given $50,000 towards their scholarship. That's where you come in at, mom and dad. Let's say if the difference was maybe they have $50,000 paid for, but you owe $20,000. Instead of having to take out a loan, guess what? You become their bank. You give that child the $20,000 and you work on paying off that $20,000. You can have that paid off with that $4,000 cash flow in 5 months. That child is free and clear of debt. So not only, let's go back to number one, we paid off a car in 11 months, a $45,000 car, by utilizing a line of credit. As we paid off that line of credit, remember, a line of credit, unlike a loan, as you pay it down, your payments decrease every single month that you pay down the line of credit. And also, you can use a line of credit as you need it. Pick and pull, pick and pull. Pay back, pull some more. Pay back, pull some more. Then, number two scenario, we bought ourselves an investment property. Once again, you utilize that $50,000 line of credit. You've used that to pay the 20% down required on a $200,000 investment property. Now you own a property as well. Number three scenario, your child is going off to college. They've done well. Maybe they've got $50,000 of that paid for. They need $20,000 to send them over. Their education is paid for. So that's where you come in at. You've taken $20,000 to help their child in college, and within 5 months you pay back $20,000. So why would we go and do a loan? Because we don't know the benefits of a line of credit. Let's even say you decide that, you know what, I've done this line of credit, I'm enjoying it, it's working for me. Why not continue using a line of credit? Why if you decide that, you know what, and everybody, I understand everybody's not into cars and that's okay, but we're all into something. Let's say your goal is to go ahead and acquire land. You want to buy land. You want to become, leave a legacy for your family. I get that. Let's say you found land. The land is $150,000. Once again, you're required to put down typically 20% unless there's a program you're working with. That's $30,000 you're going to need to put down towards that land. Where you're sitting on a $50,000 line of credit, and whenever you do a line of credit, as you pay it down every single month, your payments go down every single month. You can pull from that. So now here we are, we have land. So you have to make a decision in what you want to invest in. Some folks will use line of credit because they want to become stock, they want to trade on the stock exchange. Once again, that's your choice. But what I'm saying is that when you do a loan, remember with the loan, you can't borrow from the loan. The loan is not open-ended. The loan is you pay me back my money and you're going to pay pretty much interest before you get to the actual principal payment. So you're spending 5 years to give the bank half of that, what it would have cost you for that particular vehicle. The vehicle is what? $50,000. You're going to give the bank about maybe $65,000, $68,000 just to borrow their money. But if you do a line of credit, you're taking the line of credit out. And I get it. You're saying, well, I have to still make a payment. I get, because it's the cost to be the boss, you guys. You have to actually give them some money to borrow their money, but at the same time, you're not throwing it away like an empty penny bank because your line of credit is working for you. You're making that little small payment to them to borrow their money. At the same time, as you bring that line of credit down, you are also able to pull from it again. So I'm going to go back to my scenario. This person I showed that was using a $50,000 line of credit, they were able to, number one, pay off a car in 11 months because they had a positive cash flow of $44,000. They were able to acquire a investment property, $200,000 investment property. They had to put down $40,000, pay that line of credit back in 10 months. And don't forget about the college kid who needed a little bit of help, needed $20,000 from mom and dad to help him get along. Mom and dad were able to utilize their line of credit, not a loan, not get into that debt cycle of student loan debt. Within 5 months, because they bring in $4,000 cash flow, they paid off that college note. In the last scenario, if you want to buy land, remember, the land was $150,000 for a couple acres. Well, they paid $30,000 out of their line of credit. Now their goal is to move that line of credit back, begin to pay back that $30,000. But because they have $4,000 in cash flow, within 7 months, they have completely paid off the land, the $30,000 you need to use for the land. So once again, you don't do loans because loans they work off of an amortization schedule. It's a set payment. You cannot borrow against it. You can't take money from it. You're stuck with that payment cycle for 4, 5, 6 years, some cases 30 years, because you're doing a 30-year mortgage, or a line of credit. Remember, with that, you can borrow from it, pay it back, borrow from it, pay it back. And as you're paying it back, as you're getting down your payments, guess what? You're also making less payments due to them. As you're bringing down your balance owed, you're also going to pay less per month. You can't beat that. With the loan, it's all set the same. At the end of the day, only person that's really made the money is the banker. He's happy because you've come to him and said, oh, can I borrow money from you? Sure, you can borrow money. Borrow all the money you want. You got great credit, but you've actually given him more to borrow his money. If you and you decide to do a line of credit, go to your credit unions. They offer the best rates because they work for the people. Banks offer them too, but it's a little different because credit union is working for you, not investors, not their partners, not their shareholders. Credit unions are working for you. So I'm just making you my suggestion. You make the choice. And as I said before, no loans, no loan zone. If you need any more support, I'm your dividend friend. I'm here until you win. Hit me up, look me up, www.dividend-friend.com. I love to help you, offer consultations. I'm here for you. Until the next video, debt free is the only way to be. Bye-bye.